What's up, Reefer Revolutionaries? It's 420 in California. This is Reefer Revolution live on the road. What's happening? I see we are going out. Chela, type it in the chat. Arachnid Soul. What's up?
Hi, everybody. I'm going to spark one up here.
It is time. If you haven't sparked one up, go for it. It is now 420. And we are in Sacramento.
I'm warm. I'm totally warm in this coat. I am not cold.
Let's make sure our audio is working. Oh, it is working. It's working. Great. Very good. Awesome.
No. Dave was kind enough to loan me his coat so it could be warm outside.
Yeah, Chela's like, you're not wearing the coat?
You're going to wear your coat, Dave? No? Okay, I'll wear it. And then he says, you should wear the scarf too. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea.
It's only about, what, 50? I don't know. It's not even that cold.
It's like 60
It's like 60
something.
degrees out here.
It's like 60 something. It's perfect. I just didn't want to be uncomfortable, so I wore the coat.
And what are we doing in this god-awful cold weather?
This is wonderful. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. We're in a beautiful location, guys.
Hi, Alex. Kane Bosom.
Oh, Alex Kane Bosom. Holy Cannabis Oil jumping in the chat.
Hi, everybody.
There's Little Geek Squad. Arachnid Soul is in there. Happy Guy. What's going on, Happy Guy?
Awesome.
We are going out over all of our channels except Facebook.'re not going out on Facebook right now.
What can I tell you? I didn't promote Facebook.
We didn't really promote anything. This is a on the road Reefer Revolution on the road. We did not come up here for anything cannabis oriented.
No.
Why are we here?
We're here to support the arts in Sacramento. There is the beginnings of a new space to showcase alternative artists and emerging artists. And the Siren Events is making space for that space right now. So we are here to support that ongoing project. And
you can check out all that at thesirenevents.com. It's Jay Siren. Yeah. Chela's niece has been here up in the Sacramento area doing burlesque and teaching burlesque and just amazing artist up here in the Sacramento area and opening the doors for many emerging new artists, which is what we went to last night. We went to two great shows last night, the Emerging Artist Showcase and BS,
burlesque and stand-up show and game show. Where there's interaction
it was
between
great.
The audience and the performers. It's a lot of fun. My niece is a very creative woman. Very, very creative, entrepreneurial young lady.
Yeah, we try to come up here and support Jay and all of her endeavors when we can, and this weekend it definitely led us to come on up here, and good, and it was great. And as with many things that we find lately, just many flags and sort of arrows of direction for us in the show,
and we're flying with it.
So we met some amazing people. We're going to be going to a couple more events in just a couple hours, actually. Yeah. So we're doing an abridged show today. We don't have any
little recap.
Don't have any videos to show you. We're just going to talk to you guys a little bit, talk about our experience up here. We did, and we're going to get right into this. We're going to do this. Whoa, look at that. That is an Ease delivery bag.
We went with the big guy.
We went with Herb down south, and we're trying out Ease up here. So I downloaded the app, opened my account, uploaded. Oh, it's totally easy. Uploaded my ID, and then took about 5 minutes for them to verify the ID. How they did that, I don't know. It was a picture of my driver's license, but they did. And literally, I put the order in, and they said, your delivery will be there in 6 minutes. It was delayed. It ended up being 10 minutes. But very, very, very easy. And just to, here, you want to hold this?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Who's in the chat? Hey guys, hey everybody.
Vegan Metro again.
Yes, Jocelyn Russell. 60 is
RBU.
cold to those of us who were born and raised in Southern California. And that cold, it's cool. I didn't want to be uncomfortable, and I don't have the right loungewear to accommodate a brisk outdoor experience, so I'm wearing Dave's giant coat. It's a little bit of overkill for the weather. It's beautiful out. Do not think that I am complaining or saying that it's cold. It's not. It's not cold. It's lovely.
It is faster than a pizza. It was really fast, very easy. Delivery driver was personable, not nice. You know, signed the little deal, showed your ID, and off you went. And we ended up getting a couple of Ease exclusives today. It was
very well priced. Exclusive.
Well, we were in the market.
For it.
We were in the market for. We brought some of our own flour, but we were in the market for some pre-rolls. As you know, we like our pre-rolls when we were out in the world, and we found a couple of great deals on the Ease app. The Pacific Stone, exclusive to Ease right now, promotion, and these were 14 half-gram joints in a box for $40. So it was $100 out the door for about half ounce of legal, regulated cannabis, strain specific. Awesome. Cannabis J's.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
excited.
Open one up.
Okay, cool. I'd like to try the indica.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we never get to try indica, and I'd like to have some.
Did you figured out how to?
I did. No. You have to squeeze both sides, and then do that thing that you did in the front there. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
So it's a squeeze and flip.
Squeeze and flip.
Squeeze and
Childproof.
flip
Childproof, definitely.
Inside we
Took
have
me a minute to figure that out.
Some matches.
Jocelyn, you've got water in Maine at least. California, not so much. We could use some.
So now this is these are indica.
Yep.
Not shake. This is so far.
Oh, Vegan Metro's dropping some news. In the process of editing together video for our show from the Jack Herrera Cup that took place here in Vegas last Thursday. Awesome. Thank you, Vegan Metro. That's rad.
We would love any contributions. Anybody that's got any short videos they want to send us, we will certainly play and expose to the world as well as we can as micro.
In our ultra micro way.
Ultra micro influence way. So here we have a nice half-gram J. We're going to...
Right. Pull off that end.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. Pinch it. Gentle. Yeah, there you go.
Jesus.
It's not the lamb spread, at least.
It's not the glass lamb spread. Is there a strike box? Oh, there it is. Okay.
There is.
I like the companies that provide matches.
That is nice.
I'll take a dry draw first.
CJ Arpaio, are VIP tickets to Emerald Cup worth the money? $500. You know, it depends on what your situation is. You know, I mean, for us, it's not something that would be the right thing for us. I don't think at this time. For other people, it might be. I definitely would be very, very interested in going to all the speakers. There's going to be a lot of really great speakers at the Emerald Cup. Dr. Ethan Russo, in particular, is one that I'd really, really like to see. So, it depends on your thing. It depends on what you're going there for.
Well, you get in and out. You get access to all the special bathrooms. you get your own special porta potties.
Why is the writing reversed? RBU. I don't know. We're not on our home studio.
Yeah, we're not on our home studio. Are they really? It's reversed on the shot. Interesting. It's reversed. I'm looking at it, but is it reversed here?
We're going to find out in a minute here when we see it.
I don't know. I'm using it. We don't have our stream, our Sling stream yet. Oh, it is reversed.
Yeah.
Weird.
Interesting.
I bet I can probably fix this in a setting.
No, don't worry about it.
I just downloaded this. My shirt's up backwards too. I downloaded this RTMP streamer because I couldn't get to this Anyway,
you're doing
we
great.
need a sling studio.
All as well.
We're going to get one.
All as well.
We're going out over all of our platforms right now, guys, except Facebook. We're going out on Twitch, Periscope, DLive, and YouTube. So, hey, everybody, we can only see the YouTube chat.
It's a settings checkbox.
I'm sure it is.
Right now.
Yeah. It's
not what the show's about.
Pacific Stone. That's the name of it. Plus, it makes you think you're high when you see it backwards.
That's why it's reversed, RBU. It's because you're in Australia.
That's it. You're below the equator.
Everybody else is normal.
Your toilets and the words are backwards down in Australia.
I don't know what to say.
Are you enjoying the backwards Pacific Stone?
I am enjoying every moment.
We did meet last night, and we hope to see again tonight. One of the hosts of the Cannabis Cup, or rather the Emerald Cup, this year, Ngaio, comedian, Ngaio 420 over there on Instagram. Great comedian. He was on Cooking on High on Netflix, and nice fella. He's an activist, long time. Writes for a local paper up here.
Maker.
Had a great set last night at the show. Yep. It was awesome. Lots of great cannabis humor. Yeah. And we're going to see him again this evening. So we're going to hopefully have him on our show. He's a longtime activist and podcaster, and expressed interest in coming on our little YouTube chat show. Yeah, that'll be fun. So we're going to bring a bunch of folks that we're meeting on the show in the weeks to come. We will be doing more road trips. We're probably going to be doing a longer road trip around the Emerald Cup because we have some folks we want to interview up in the area. So that's our goal for the middle of December, is to do that. Working on getting access for our ever-growing channel, and so that's our story on the Emerald Cup at this point.
Yeah, I'd like to see the presenters. I'd like to bring you guys that news. That's important stuff. And I'd like to bring the stories of the healers and the medicine makers and the pioneers out of that area of the world. I think that would be really rad.
Yeah, so lots of good things happening. This has been a great little trip. Chela did a great job finding this place, as usual. And we've had just a lovely time hanging out up here. We're probably going to head back home tomorrow. I had some other possible plans up here, but I think we're going to just get back to the boys. Yeah,
the fires, guys. Thank you for your concern.
Well, Chela, I'll take that for now. Definitely, as we were coming up on the 5, we noticed
the smoke from the fires was very, very, very impactful.
Apocalyptic-ish. Driving through Stockton on the 5 was air quality was really bad. It was like, we're not getting out of the car here. Yeah. Hasn't been too bad here in Sacramento. Seems pretty nice. Was tonight. Yeah. Of course, we didn't get outside much today. We've been enjoying the house here. So, and had visitors, and we have more visitors coming over for our evening of festivities. But let's see, what else do we want to talk? Do we want to talk about any of this stuff in the Slow News Week? I don't know if you want to call it a Slow News Week.
Slow News Week. It was just not super. There were some really good things in the Cannabis Chronicle. I don't know if you guys subscribe to the Cannabis Chronicle, but it's packed full of really great information. And I read it in the bath this morning. It was delightful.
It's Chela's third bath since we've been in this place. We don't have a bathtub in our place, so.
It's so good. It was so good. Oh my God.
Let's see. You know what? Maybe I wonder if let's try something.
Why?
Watch this. Wait.
Oh.
And look, it's not backwards.
Oh, look at that.
Check that out. So hold this.
Okay. So here's the Cannabis Chronicle. Look at you.
Old school.
Oh, I love it.
This is our little.
So there's the Cannabis Chronicle.
Mosquito.
And can you scroll up so we can see the other things?
Well, let's see. What story did you want to look at? This was a good one. This is the one you were reading today. This was a good Leafly story.
Oh, yeah. I really like this story. So the whole reason that cannabis is now legal in so many places is because a group of activists and renegades and pioneers and brilliant people had a lot of compassion for people who were suffering with AIDS and cancer. And so they were the ones who really did the hard work of letting the whole world know that cannabis is medicine, because they were publicly and very proudly arrested multiple times. And so that was the beginning of what we're looking at now with cannabis becoming legal pretty much everywhere. I mean, in 33 states medicinally and 10 states recreationally, and it's only going to get better.
829 is...
So we talked about, SB 829, and we talked about how Governor Brown vetoed that. But the guy who sponsored that in the Assembly is going to take it up again this year. 829 was the Compassionate Giving program, and that would have restored that. Prop 64 made a lot of things more illegal in California in regards to cannabis, and took away the Compassionate Giving program. So for those of you who are still fighting for cannabis legalization in your state, make sure that you guys have a compassionate giving program and home grow in any of your legislation or bills, because that's a thing. That's really a thing. So,
which Michigan looks like they might have addressed some of that, but it was really, I felt it was a real overcorrection by California, because we had such lax growing regulations early on because of this great work, and getting people to be able to grow the amount of medicine they need and give to other people was basically created in the system, pioneered by these folks in this article, and we essentially have eliminated that. And when we tried to fix it in the legislature, Jerry Brown vetoed it, and hopefully we will get it through again and be able to get compassion back into California's cannabis program.
Yeah, for a lot of patients, it's gone by the wayside. We were talking to someone who said, "What do you mean? You can walk into any dispensary, or ease.com will deliver your cannabis right to your door, no problem, like we experienced. But you got to have the $100 to be able to afford that cannabis." I mean, the whole thing behind the compassionate growing, behind the compassionate programs, is that it's given, it's medicine, and it's given to patients in need. So I really like that story.
Those that are doing those programs are paying that tax, which is the dispensaries, yeah. Right, so that's which is an additional burden.
Like Herb Delivery in Los Angeles has that program. We talked about it last week. It's called Get and Give. If you live in the Southern California area and you are in need of medicine, make sure that you go to herb.com and see what they can help you with. All you got to do is sign up, and you can get $100 worth of medicine from the good people at Herb, who take the hit on the tax for us all. Anyway, moving on, another really great story in the Cannabis Chronicle that I thought was particularly interesting was the Asia is going legal. Across all of Asia is one state, one country after the next is getting into cannabis normalization. Thailand, Malaysia, and I read this morning that Sri Lanka did it over the summer. So we can go to that story. Yeah, that one. Okay. I love that story.
That one.
I love it.
Oh, it was in the Newsweek.
I love that story.
That was a good one.
So that's super mainstream. I mean, look at this. Oh, wow. Hey, look, Newsweek. Wow, super mainstream.
Race to legalization.
That's unbelievable.
Well, especially since South Korea and China both said,
Yeah, but in China, hemp is legal, which I found out in this Newsweek article.
Well, industrial hemp, yeah.
Yes, but it's...
Where all the crappy hemp comes from.
Right. So I thought this was a very interesting story, and I love that it's in Newsweek because that means like loads and loads of people are checking it out. And, you know, that's what we're all about here. We're trying to normalize cannabis, and the more we talk about it and the more people read about it and get used to it, the more it can be considered a serious thing. We were chatting with some folks earlier today, and I was about to say that as a cannabis user since my early 20s, I first used it, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I first used it for anxiety, and now I know that. But I knew that it made me feel good, and I was made to feel bad about that for a very, very long time by general society. Oh, well, you're doing something that makes you feel better, so therefore you're doing something wrong.
The same ones that tell you, oh, is your Prozac working?
Yeah.
You're feeling good, right?
The same ones
Feeling
that are
better?
trying to get me on fucking drugs that fuck up my liver and kidneys. Yeah, I don't think so. So, now I know that cannabis is medicine in so many ways. Another really cool story.
Or the Sacramento story.
No, was the terpenes story. Oh, yeah, and the Sacramento
You're
story.
finding all the stories that I did not pull up.
Well, what can I tell you? I really like those stories. So I guess we should have chatted more about it.
So, yeah. I know which one you speak,
so the federal
the science section.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Feds want to research minor cannabinoids.
Yeah, I think this is wonderful. I wish the feds would make it so that everybody could study cannabis. So I'm going to send Senator Lindsey Graham.
Yes, the new head of the Rules Committee in the Senate,
Right.
or rather, Judiciary Committee.
Who's a little softer on cannabis than his predecessor.
I'd say he's a lot softer, but
Yeah, he's a lot softer, but he's still not gung-ho. I wish to make him gung-ho. Something happened in 2015-16 with him that he discovered, he really learned that it helps people with epilepsy. Something happened. He somehow turned a corner then. And I think that if we keep educating him, he is going to be a good ally for us. So I'm going to send him postcards, nice notes every week, educating him on how cannabis helps people who are not helped by other drugs, like people with dementia, as you guys know is my favorite thing to talk about. Cannabis helps dementia. So, yeah, and the other story was the Sacramento story. There's a young lady here who is pioneering expungement efforts. So Youth Forward is a nonprofit here in Sacramento that is looking to expunge people's records and make sure that that part of Prop 64 happens. And only about 390 people have had their records expunged in Sacramento. So this should be an automatic thing, but it is not. So that's something that they are working on. There's a few different avenues that can help with that. And here's Nia Moore Weathers, who is, I believe, the founder of Youth Forward, and who's working on expungement for people with records. I think we should turn the camera around so you can see Dave working on opening this box, because it's very entertaining.
it's hilarious.
So
let's try it again. It works. I did it. It was so easier. It was so much easier before. So much
you squeeze the sides. Show the people. So you squeeze the two sides, and then you push down in the front. Squeeze the two sides there, and you push down and in, like it says. Although
Down and in?
Yeah, it says down and in. The tab, yeah. You almost got there. You go.
Oh, well, look, it's so easy. Why didn't they tell you to do that?
It's just so easy like that. Cool. Anyway, you guys, if you don't get the Cannabis Chronicle, I highly recommend signing up at DC420LA and checking it out. It has a really great recap of all the week's news and all the different sources that we like to look at.
Even this week when we were really busy.
Yeah.
We did a lot of stuff this week.
It was a busy week.
More virtual dementia tours.
It was a big week. Yeah, Friday we did a virtual dementia tour at Lisa's Care Connection in Burbank, and it was a really enlightening experience because, of course, we talked about cannabis at both of the sessions.
Everybody wanted to talk about cannabis.
Everybody wanted to talk about cannabis. We really kind of went on a little bit of a tangent talking about cannabis because they were there to do this virtual dementia tour, and whoops, we're talking about cannabis for way too long. I think that's going to have to be another seminar at Lisa's Care Connection for sure.
Def.
And what else? Oh, this week I went to the Women in Cannabis conference, right? That was this week.
That was this week.
That was awesome.
How was that?
So I went to the Women in Cannabis conference in at the Ace Hotel downtown LA, put on by Limone.
Count de Monet.
Anyway,
Lemonade.
It was great. I really loved being in a room full of women in cannabis. It was probably 100 women mostly. I mean, there was a few men throughout the day, and I felt very comfortable. I felt there were a couple ladies from the Inland Empire, which is kind of a drive to downtown LA. It's like a 2-hour drive.
Say that again.
And I said that they should, I suggested that they start a women's circle in their area so that a women's circle, for those of you who don't know, is where women get together and maybe once a month and share cannabis with each other and talk about their experiences in cannabis.
Has that always been the thing in the women's circle?
Well, in this what I'm discussing, in this regard that I suggested to these two women at the Women in Cannabis conference, that's what I was talking about. I'm sure it's similar. Women get together and talk about their experiences in life, but this is particularly geared toward cannabis. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Why don't you take the microphone?
And it's indica.
Let's see what the people are saying.
Well, yes, we have been ignoring. We've been totally. Let's go to the chat actually, because we've been talking about the news and we're getting high. Here we go. Let's back the camera up here.
And I'll check what's going on.
You check the chat. We'll bring this over. Go ahead. You go ahead and start.
All right.
Getting into the chat. Figure out what we're all talking about. Who's in the chat? What are we smoking? Holy cannabis oil. Got some news coming in here. I'm going to check out.
Your lawyer. Okay, Holy Cannabis Oil, I'd like to chat about that.
Oh.
You can have your lawyer petition to get your criminal cannabis convictions overturned to be health and safety violations. I have several friends who've done it. Yeah, but you need a lawyer. Mm-hmm. So that's going to deter a lot of people. And people who have public defenders, I don't really see how that's gonna work so easily. That's why
some of the local communities like Berkeley, I think, and some other places, they're going to do it automatically. So that's going to take resources to do, but that's really to avoid that problem that people, if you can't afford an attorney, how are you going to do it? So. But at least it's an effort, and it is in the law, and people are. I think that is one of the laws that did pass in California, if I'm not mistaken, that was signed with regards to making that easier. So we shall see. Yes, what's up?
Nothing. I'm just catching up.
Oh, catching up.
RBU 83145 wants to know what the Emerald Cup is, please.
So that's a good question. We don't really know either.
That's not true.
We know a little bit now.
Come on. Done a little research.
We do it since cannabis has been pseudo legal in different areas of Northern California. There are competitions. It's done in Amsterdam. High Times started it, I think, the competitions. I'm not sure about the history of it, really, to be honest, but there are a number of different competitions for growers. There's judging. We heard a lot about that last night from...
they give the judges... lots of different cannabis to judge and score and rank, and they give them 3 weeks to consume the cannabis and make their judgments, and then they send it all in. And I think at this festival over a few days, there are vendors and panels and excuse me, community, and did I say music? And music. And I'm sure most people go for the music and the community and the vendors and the cannabis consumption.
Yeah.
Because it's at a fairgrounds, you can consume cannabis openly, and there's not a lot of places you can do that. And cannabis crosses all economic, racial, gender.
Not that they're not trying to divide us, just like they always do in capitalism.
It's easier to control people if you're
the corporate world and government. They try to separate you, and that's kind of what I think a lot of this is going on with these tax and regulating schemes. This is not. It's basically another form of prohibition by creating a list of what's legal and what's not legal, when it should just be lightly regulated, like agricultural products, like tomatoes.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's what we're all working toward.
Right.
We'll get there one day.
Till then, we're going to be dealing with this pseudo-legality or until it's descheduled, or rescheduled, which I think is probably more logical in the upcoming months. Some type of rescheduling, as well as we're going to see this week. We saw news on some legislation moving forward for vets, for research, bipartisan. So they've already started, both on a state level and a federal level, to move forward on legalization efforts with friendly governors, and Wisconsin this week, because of the huge support for legalization efforts, or it was basically a poll of people in Wisconsin. It wasn't anything binding, but over, somewhere upwards of 80% in areas want some form of legalization. So there's going to be a bill introduced soon in Wisconsin for recreational, like adult use, not just medical, which will be a major change for Wisconsin. Utah, the church is in trouble for their efforts to stop it.
Yeah,
they're being sued.
Separation of church and who?
So it is creating. There's definitely a division being created in California around the communities that are involved in and create these cups.
So, CJ, to answer your questions, is $500 worth it? Blah, blah, blah. Listen, you live in Illinois and Michigan?
Oh,
is
yeah.
what I think
Coming in?
Do it.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Balls out, man. Go all the way. Stay where everybody else is staying. Look on their website. There's a travel package. Just do it. We live in California. I'm going to this area to interview a lot of the medicine makers.
Yeah, we're here now,
live
essentially.
In this area. If I were coming from out of town and I was somebody who was a grower or worked in the space, or even just an aficionado who really enjoyed cannabis, I would go and imbibe and enjoy the entire thing. Yes, in and out, and stay at the hotel where everybody's staying.
I agree. Illinois is going to get it, and you could take your knowledge back and help lobby to make it happen in Illinois.
Yeah, and go to all the panels. Go to the interesting panels that you think you can get knowledge that will work for you, whatever your interest is. CJ, if you don't mind telling me, are you somebody who's more interested in growing? Are you more interested in the business side? Are you interested in just sort of the social scene? What's your thing?
Because as ultra micro influencers, we can help you guide your the decisions you make.
All 20 people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's
cool.
correct. You need to refresh. That'll tell you the new numbers. So hey, but seriously, you're coming from another state and you're coming anyway.
Just do it.
You'll probably be happy you did. Or disappointed if you don't.
No, I think it's good. Every time I've had that sort of opportunity, I think it's important to go for the opportunity, and enjoy the whole experience, right? Where's that ease bag, right? Enjoy the moment, guy.
These guys have good marketing. Good marketing and a lot of money. Speaking of ease is in the news this week.
Yeah.
Yes, you see, they've now decided that the CBD end of cannabis is a moneymaker as well, and they are expanding their delivery service to all of the CBD legal states.
Yes.
So you will be able to get CBD delivered by ease in a number of states coming up. So interesting.
Oh my God, Vegan Metro. At the Jack Herrera Cup, people were smoking flower in the Hard Rock Cafe Casino. Cops were off to the side and said nothing? This is a revolution.
Reefer Revolutionaries.
This is a revolution.
There's no point.
Fantastic.
There's no point in them arresting anyone because no judge is going to bother with it.
Bonnie Lee, we're in Northern California right now. We're in Sacramento.
Well, is that northern or is that central?
Northern.
It's northern?
Northern. I think it's northern.
It's closer. I guess it's closer to northern than it is to. Yeah, it's above the Central Valley.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sort of kitty corner, a little bit further north than San Francisco.
You're interested in the compliance and government aspect. There's going to be some. There's going to be some panels on that, I'm sure. I saw some people. The lady who's in charge of the compliance and government division, branch, what's it called? The Cannabis Compliance Bureau. Bureau of Cannabis Compliance is going to be there. So I'm sure she'll be on a panel or she's talking.
And you'll learn what not to do in Illinois.
You'll learn all the things. And you're from California.
Come on back, and come find us, because I think we're all the flags and the arrows are pointing to us going.
We're going to be there at least for
the Emerald Cup.
I really want to see Dr. Russo. That's really important to me, because he's going to be there, and he doesn't live here. I don't think. I mean, I'm going to send him a note and see. Hi, Joe. This
Pixel 3 camera is doing amazing in this light. It's really great. So we're up here in Sacramento. We are supporting the emerging art scene.
We are. And oh my goodness, it's almost 5 o'clock.
It is.
We gotta get going. Okay, so cannabis hypermesis. That's all crazy town.
That's bull. That's reefer madness. Do all people react well with cannabis? Yeah, I think they do mostly, but are there rarely someone who has some type of syndrome like that? Or I mean, there probably is other problems.
I think if you're having issues, I think you should look at your whole health picture. You don't throw up, but you feel like you might be having some other issues. Yeah, you should be skeptical. Doctors don't know a whole lot of stuff, and it's your body. So look at what you've been eating and what you've been ingesting. I think, look at your whole health picture. Write down what you've been eating and what your symptoms are and try to track down what it is. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure your whole health picture is balanced.
There's a lot of contributing factors.
I'm not a doctor.
Yes. Chela's new blog.
I'm going to be starting a blog. I think I'm going to call it I'm Not a Doctor.
What do you think of that?
Because I'm not a doctor.
What do you think of that idea?
Yeah, what do you think about the name of my new blog called I'm Not a Doctor?
Because there's a lot of people asking advice, and we just want to be clear.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
This is all from personal experience. We come from California. We've had the luxury of access for many, many, many years to do experimentation and under a
cannabis event planning too. And CJ, are you interested in for Illinois and Michigan, or for California, or your potential future in Illinois and Michigan? I mean, or are you coming home to find out information about home? Because yes, all of these people that you're curious about, all of these things, are going to be at the Emerald Cup. So it would make sense, especially if you don't live here. You'll have access to all those people in one place, and that would be wise. So yeah, I would do that. Yeah, Cicely, you gotta track your own, track your symptoms, track what's going on with you, track your other food. I have a lot of food issues. I have tracked all my food, and I know exactly what does what. And I had a doctor that helped me with that. But there's not a lot of doctors who do that in the world. If you can find an 8th Constitution acupuncturist in your neck of the woods, I highly recommend it. Yes.
And take a, are you suffering? She's suffering from what she thinks she might be.
There might be some issues, but I haven't been able to read the entire chat.
You take a break from the cannabis and see if it changes. If that's the issue.
Yeah, that could happen. But
and if it is the case, it's a very rare. We know a lot of long-time weed smokers, and I've never heard it described in any way. I mean, do I believe it happens to some people? Sure, I do know people that they don't necessarily like cannabis because they don't like the way it makes them feel.
And you know what? I think we're learning so much more about the endocannabinoid system and how much it influences the balance of our entire health picture. I think the people that don't like cannabis are people who maybe don't benefit that much from THC, but they could benefit from the rest of the plant, or maybe not decarboxylated cannabis. Maybe they do better with raw, or a high CBD plant. Maybe their system is tuned in such a way that it doesn't do well with THC, but I think the other properties that soon the feds are going to be studying.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what kind of ties in that story this week is that we've known that the U.S. government has known about cannabidiol, CBD, for a long time, thus the patent. So the fact that they want to investigate the minor cannabinoids and their properties more is encouraging. We know, and we based on the panels that we've been seeing too, we need more of that science as well in the cannabis space because it's coming down to the fact that strains are BS. And it all has to do with the profile of everything that's in there, with terpenes, minor cannabinoids, and the temperature of consumption. I mean, there's all kinds of factors that are going into what you're getting from the plant that you're using and how you're using it. So, and then add on that, everybody's endocannabinoid system is different, and everybody needs different things, low and slow. And so you don't get blown out of the water is really the key.
But again, also low and slow, I've been reading lately that a low dose of CBD can have an opposite effect than what you're looking for. So like a 5 milligram dose of CBD might excite your system, whereas a 20 milligram dose might calm you. So depending on what you're looking for, track what you're doing.
There's an app for
that. There is an app for that. It's called Relief. I'll bring it up.
It's not our app, but somebody did create an app called Relief that allows you to track your what you use, how you use it, and how it affects you. And I think you can keep that for yourself, and you can share that with other people.
Yeah, right? And also Realm of Caring, which doesn't have an app, although it should. Realm of Caring is a great database website where you can try to find other people's experience and build on that. So remember, guys, that medicine is the practice of medicine, and you are partnered with your doctor. Doctors have hundreds and hundreds of patients, and you are the master of the meat puppet that you walk around in. So take good care of it, and, smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day. And you're gonna keep stay tuned to this channel. Subscribe, get notifications. We'll be back to our regular show next week.
Yeah.
Where we'll be catching up on all the week's news, watching some videos from around the country, and talking about our week's experience. We have going to be making some more plans around the Emerald Cup in the coming weeks, and definitely plan to do that.
I love all you guys in the chat.
We're probably gonna
cool. You guys are amazing.
We're probably gonna rent a sling studio to try for this excursion before we jump out and try to raise money to buy one, just to see how well it works and how, if we take this show on the road, if that would be beneficial. So that's exciting, and we're going to make plans to visit some folks up there in December. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Chela's blog. I am not a
Knox family.
I am not a doctor.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. But listen, Bonnie Lee is doing better because of things I said, and I'm not a doctor.
There you go. And Chela will be linking many of her blog posts.
You have power.
She'll be linking many of those blog posts to the actual scientific research that's being done, and then it's been available to doctors in the United States for decades.
Yeah.
As well as new stuff. So that'll be coming. That'll be part of the alsnotes.com because it will be primarily focused on cannabis and dementia. But there'll be more, of course, and as well as on the show.
You're so sweet to me.
What do you mean?
You're just so sweet. All my Al's Notes stuff.
Oh, well, it's part of our deal. It's how we found cannabis. Not how we found cannabis, but we certainly realized how beneficial it was as a medicine.
It's true, because I didn't really. Oh yeah, I started that story. God, sorry, I'm going to wrap it up though. When the first time I ever really got stoned, I was really twisted up in knots over some stupid shit that happened at my dumb restaurant job, and my mom said, "Babe, don't pay any attention to that. Here, have a hit." And I took a couple hits, and I didn't think anything about my stupid dumb restaurant job, and all that anxiety just melted away, and that was a medicinal application. And I felt much better from it, and even still, I called it recreational until just recently, literally just recently, within the last years, I'd say, in the last few years, have I really been becoming accepting of the fact that cannabis really is medicine, and it works on a level that we don't really understand or know, but we are all
certainly in this country,
right? It's still not really well studied because of its place on the schedule, but everybody's changing. So write your people, write all your elected officials, send them postcards, let them know what's going on, educate your friends and family and loved ones about cannabis. Thank you guys so much for all the great stuff in the chat. I'm super stoked that my non-doctor advice is helping people, because we are all empowered to take care of ourselves. So let's do that.
And this, this ain't going to kill you. Well, experimenting on yourself. We know that for sure. But we are really we're doing it backwards. For the most part in this country, we are the guinea pigs to get the doctors to look at the rats. Yeah. And so with websites like Realm of Caring and apps like Relief and the anecdotal evidence of momcologists and other families, caregivers, Alexis Bortel and her struggles, as well as all of the medical refugees from all around the country that are trying to find relief with the plant and get freedom.
Better stuff.
Texas is on the move. Texas is on the move this week.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But state lawmakers in Texas are introducing bills this week. All the states, it's happening, folks. It's happening. 2019 is going to be a great year, another great year for cannabis. Mm-hmm. We just got to keep the tax and regulate schemes in check and get the compassion back into cannabis.
Yeah.
And try not to let these people be blinded by cash.
Yep.
Because
it's super easy. Super easy to be blinded by cash in a capitalist society. Really is.
And really, that article really nailed it, that Leafly article this week. I'd like to get him on, actually, to talk about it, Dan. But because the plant is based in compassion, and if you don't have that, it's lost part of what it's all about. So we need to. A struggle is real, and we need to make sure that we keep the patients and just freedom and liberty in mind. And they don't want that. They don't want us healing ourselves either.
But that's the thing that unites everybody who uses cannabis. We're all for liberty, and we need to talk to each other and remind each other that is what unites us. And it's recently been brought to my attention that there's some work we need to do in remembering that this is the plant that brings all of us together. So if you see anybody who's trying to divide us up within the community, remind everybody that no, we are all together. Let's move the ball forward together.
Right. We still have to stay together to fight the zombies. Government. Okay. Actually, Papa Grows, thank you for the news tip. I was watching Bingus today, and the government of Israel is basically, obviously, I was reading the articles about governmental overreach is messing with Tikkun Olam and their work in Israel. So governments everywhere are, even though they're doing, the scientists are doing great work over there, the government does not want this natural plant healing people. And so they're getting interference too.
The guy who gives people the rubber stamp, the go-ahead to use cannabis, doesn't use cannabis. the government official.
Yeah.
He's never used cannabis and looks at it like, oh no, I'm a doctor. So that's, until that mindset, until the person in that chair has used cannabis or has had a loved one who benefited from cannabis as medicine, I think that is going to keep happening. So it's up to us to educate everybody we know to the medical benefits of cannabis, including ourselves, including us long-time cannabis users, because I think some of us are the hardest to convince that it's medicine.
Right. Oh, that's true. Yeah. And to not look at it as just getting high.
Yeah.
And actually you're using it to benefit yourself on many different levels, as well as the euphoric aspect of it. So thanks for watching today, guys. This has been a Reefer Revolution live on the road check-in from Sacramento. We're going to go enjoy some more comedy and some more cannabis comedy, some more family time.
Yep.
And we will see you for sure live next week, next Sunday at 4:20 Pacific. Subscribe, get notifications wherever you're watching, and we will maybe do a check-in during the week if anything exciting happens. We go anywhere exciting, or find out any good news, new news happening with regards to the Emerald Cup, or any breaking news in the cannabis world. You never know. Lots of things happening. It's fast-moving with in this lame duck Congress. Who knows? Something could happen in this lame duck session.
Oh, yes. It could.
That might be quite interesting. So who knows?
Might ruin our movie. That's okay.
No, nothing's going to ruin our movie. The beauty of movies is you can rewrite them.
It's true. We can rewrite them.
Yes.
Until they get made.
And that's all going really well, too. It's all very exciting. So we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Yep. We will see you next week for sure. And free the plant, free the people.
Free the plant, free the people.
Pot for peace.
Take good care, everybody.
See you next time.
Take care of each other.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I got to push this button.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.